I pulled over on the side of the interstate because I was crying so much. I just left Vanderbilt. I left Chris there. They moved him to another room. He's been there since Thursday of last week. Today is Tuesday. They moved him today from 8422 over to Vanderbilt Children's Psychiatric Hospital. My little boy's broken. And I've tried to come to terms why this happened again. It's a variety of reasons. It isn't just one thing. He fell into this deep depression. The death of his cousin last Wednesday was kind of the final straw that he could handle. He had turned our entire family upside down to know that one of the children in our family could take their life. And to know that my own little boy feels that way again because of things that's went on over the last 6 months. As a mom, I feel broken. Part of me, I feel like I failed in some places. I have tried very hard to build Chris up. And Chris is an amazing young man. He wears his heart on his sleeve. But for the first time in his entire life, I saw a rage in him at someone when he talked to the doctors and he talked to me and things a specific individual that he wanted to harm because of how they have made him feel. I don't want him to feel like that either. I want him to be able to forgive and go forward. And know that there are bad people in this world that will take advantage of people. Kids, young people, teenagers, if you're out there and you feel depressed, please reach out and ask for help. Chris did last Thursday. Last Thursday morning, I took him to school, dropped him off at 7:35. By 9 a.m., I was back at the school. He had completely melted down in front of the coach, and they had never seen him like that. He was giving up. He was just a puddle. He didn't want to eat. And he wrote messages. How he was felt cold, alone, abandoned, isolated, and said, I want to be alone. And then he said, please don't leave me alone. Don't leave me alone, please. I don't know what'll happen if you leave me alone. He was scared. And then he wrote he felt that maybe if he tried harder, maybe if he worked harder to raise more awareness about bullying and teen suicide, that just maybe his cousin would still be here. Even though they weren't close, she was still his cousin, and that registers with him that, you know, she's family, she's my cousin, she's 1 year younger than me, and she took her life. I'm scared for him, I'm scared for my nephews, I'm scared for her dad. But Chris, I've been with him every day since last Thursday. I've stayed every night with him until they moved him today to the psychiatric unit, and I can't go with him there. I have to let him go and put him in their care and pray for the best. I want y'all to kind of know what has led him to this. Last February, we signed a contract with someone, and they were supposed to help us get his book in print, and they made Chris a lot of promises to help him get a professional Captain Spectrum costume made so he can wear and go into schools and talk to kids. He was very inspirational talking about bullying and and teen suicide and about being kind to other people. He wanted to get his story out there. Then he wanted to continue writing stories with his characters. And so this person did. They said they had sponsors. They had people to help, investors to help get involved to get this done. I don't know who the sponsors were. I don't know who the investors were. I was told I wasn't privy to that information by her. When the book was created, Chris released it at Wizard World Comic Con. As of this date, he never received a dime from any of those books. And then there was the event Chris wanted to do the world's largest human puzzle piece. And he said people aren't paying attention to bullying and teen suicide. So he says, I want to do something to make people pay attention, to wake up and realize that, depression, autism, bullying, teen suicide, these are all subjects that are very real that our kids are facing every day. So his manager said she would handle it all, and they did. They set everything up, and she would ask me a few questions here or there, but for the most part she handled all of it. Sponsors, etc., etc. The day of the event, there was no puzzle piece. She spelled out stop bullying on the field with people, but didn't put a G on the end. And I said, spread the people out and make a G. And she says, oh, there's got to be a certain number of people in each letter. I said, but there's no G on the end. You can't send a half-spelled word to Guinness Book of World Records. But that's exactly what she did. They took pictures with the drone. She said, that's it, we're done. And Chris is like, but Mom, that's not a full word. You can't send a half word to Guinness Book of World Records. Well, as of today's date, we still haven't heard back from Guinness Book of World Records whether we succeeded or not succeeded or anything else. I keep asking her about it, and she says, oh, they're backed up. We'll know something by the end of January. Well, the end of January is here, and we still don't know nothing. Christopher keeps asking. And then Clarksville Now, they were there at the event, and they did an article on Chris, talked about how he failed at his attempt to do this. Instead of focusing on the positive things that he was trying to bring light to, they focused on the fact that he failed. That gave ammunition to bullies at school to use to tell Chris, he's a failure. After that, she sent me a 5-year contract in an email, which I still have, and told me I need to sign it and get it back to her as quick as possible. I took that opportunity to print it off and take it to an attorney in Clarksville, and who specializes in entertainment law, and he told me not to sign it. He said because this basically would be giving them rights to Captain Spectrum, Christopher's characters, his stories, and anything he creates over the next 5 years. And they would slap so many copyrights on it that Chris would not ever be able to talk about his own story ever again. That pissed me off. We ended our contract with her in November. As of this date, I asked her about anything that Christopher would receive money-wise, and she says, well, all the money that was made out of book sales and et cetera, had to go to pay the investors. And I've asked her several times who the investors were. She says, I don't have right to that information. I'm sorry, but if I'm paying money back to somebody, I think I darn well have a right to know who the heck I'm paying money back to. If you think for a moment that people are going to... I should have seen through her scam months before. But Christopher was subject to public humiliation. He felt very let down. I don't know who all she has asked to borrow money, asked to donate money in Christopher's name or Captain Spectrum's name. I don't know. It's a big void there. I have no idea what she did. I trusted her. I give her 100% run with everything. I trusted her, and then she come into Christopher's life. She made promises to him. She made money with his name, and then she left him. You don't do that to any kid. On top of that, she left with public humiliation, what she did at Austin Peay that day. I'm proud of him regardless of what he did. I will tell you this, Christopher has asked me if he could redo the human puzzle piece to get at least 900 people to come out and get in the form of a human puzzle piece with him, all wearing one color shirt, so he can break that record. I told him I didn't know. He asked about the Titans football field, if the Tennessee Titans would let him come to their stadium and do a human puzzle piece on their field. I told him, I don't know. I don't even know what avenues to go there. I will tell you this, Christopher turns 16 this Saturday. He will turn 16 in the hospital. Everything that she did led us to call Mobile Crisis on December 29th because he was so upset with everything that had happened. I went and had 25 more books printed up. I paid for personally at the printer. They do not have an ISBN. She kept the ISBN number for the book. I don't have an ISBN number for the new books created that I printed up at Captain Spectrum. So I went and had 25 books created, and I set up a book signing at the Stewart County Library on December 9th. Chris was very excited about it. That's our hometown. One person came to his book signing. One kid and his grandmother come out. Chris was so excited to see that one person. But after we left at the end of the day, we donated a book to the library. And as we left, he was very sad. And he's like, nobody really cares about this. Nobody cares about bullying. Nobody cares about teen suicide. Nobody cares about kids who are hurting. He said, Mom, what's the use? What's the use? Why should we try when nobody cares? Tell him I care. I said he cares. We can't stop caring. On December 29th, Mobile Crisis was called. His doctor at his mental health co-op called while we were there for a visit. They come out, spoke with Chris, and they let me keep him in my care with a safety plan because he was so depressed over everything that's happened this last year with Captain Spectrum. We had a lot of high hopes, and they benefited somebody else, not him. With the death of his cousin last Wednesday, it was the last straw that he could handle. He couldn't take anymore. He's in a very dark, deep depression right now, and he's really trying to find a reason to stand up and keep going on with what he was going on. He has a lot to offer. He's a smart kid. He's a brave kid. And I will tell all of you teenagers out there, be like Chris. Chris reached out for help on Thursday when he knew he was getting to a dark place, that he was scared that he might hurt himself. He didn't go to his room or try to hurt himself. He called for help. He reached out when he said, I want to be alone, but don't leave me alone, please. He was telling me, don't leave me alone. He didn't want to be left alone for a reason. The darkness was coming in around him, and he couldn't stop it. Depression is real. Anxiety is real. There is no shame in that whatsoever. And until this society realizes that depression is part of normal life for a lot of people, that these are good people who get depressed. Sometimes they just need a little bit of a pick-me-up. They're not bad people. They're people that just need a little bit of help. You know, they need more kindness in their lives. Chris has all that, but he's had so much dark around him the last few months regarding everything that happened with Captain Spectrum and the ex-manager, and with his niece, my niece, his cousin, passing away. He told me, Mom, I'm scared. What if that happens to me? Because you just don't know. My word out there is, please reach out for help if you're depressed. If you're lonely, search for someone. Don't go into a room by yourself and end your life. The ripples after suicide of any age reaches far and wide. Just know, if any of my friends out there, they feel very depressed or hopeless and they just need someone to let them know, hey, today is just a bad day. It's not a bad life. You know, there's always tomorrow. If you just need a friend to talk to, I'm always there. You know, shoot me a line. You know, I would be happy to hold your hand and talk to you and let you know, hey, it's just one day. You know, we'll get through it, and then tomorrow begins another one. And my eyes are swollen from crying. I'm trying to contain it in all week, but if y'all get a chance, you know, shoot Christopher a line at Vanderbilt Children's Psychiatric Hospital. And if you want information, you can message me or message the Captain Spectrum page, and I'll happily give you the address, or I'll post it on the page. I need to get it back on the road. This is eating away at me, at everything that this boy has been through and how much he has tried to do for others. And I don't know, I had to vent. I will tell you this, Chris turned 16 Saturday. He will be in the hospital. If y'all want to send birthday cards, you can send them to our home address, and I'll make sure he gets them. If you want to send him a card, private message me, and I will give you the address to send it. I am going to try to plan a big surprise party for Chris after he gets out of the hospital for his 16th birthday. So if anybody would like to be involved in that, you're more than welcome to message me about that too. I'm going to try to have it probably in Clarksville. Possibly Dover, but probably Clarksville. If you'd like to be involved in helping give him a really good birthday party for his 16th when he gets released, which is probably going to be a couple of weeks. So, I would really like to surprise him and show him how many people care and are there to celebrate his life with him. Let him know how happy we are that he had another birthday. And how much is that? Thanks, everybody. Bye.